What defines artificial evolution and how does it differ from natural evolutionary processes? Delving into the intricacies of artificial evolution, this article juxtaposes it with the natural processes that have shaped life. We explore the mechanisms, outcomes, and its implications. Abstract Artificial evolution, a conceptual overview. In the realm of biological research, artificial evolution stands distinct from natural evolutionary processes, marked by the directed application of algorithmic selection and genetic algorithms to produce desired traits or behaviors not typically found in nature. Unlike the random mutations and environmental pressures that drive natural selection, artificial evolution is characterized by a purposeful manipulation of genetic material, utilizing techniques such as directed mutagenesis and synthetic genomics to expedite the emergence of specific attributes. This approach leverages computational phylogenetics to map potential evolutionary outcomes, employing bioinformatics to simulate and predict pathways that in the wild would take millennia to unfold. Introduction: Synthesizing life, the onset of artificial evolution. The genesis of artificial evolution lies at the intersection of technology and biology, a fusion that has given rise to a new epoch in which synthetic genomics and computational biology remodel the core of life itself. The driving force behind this scientific frontier is the potent blend of bioinformatics and genetic algorithms, tools that allow for the meticulous crafting of organisms with an unprecedented level of precision. These methods, underscored by the principles of evolutionary computation, herald the transformation from a passive observation of natural selection to active curation of evolutionary trajectories. This burgeoning field does not merely mimic the natural processes that have sculpted the diversity of life on our planet, instead it introduces an orthogonal dimension to evolution, one where digital organism simulations and transgenic modifications chart a course previously unattainable. Here, the adaptive radiation of species is no longer solely the province of natural selection, but a landscape reimagined and reformulated by human ingenuity. The utilization of genetic algorithms in this context is not confined to biological organisms alone, but extends to the design of biomimetic hardware systems, suggesting an expansion of evolution into the realm of the inanimate. Such systems draw inspiration from the complexity of biological networks, embodying principles such as phenotypic plasticity and genotype-phenotype mapping to engineer solutions that are both adaptive and resilient. The field of artificial life seeks not only to understand but also to recreate life's emergent properties within artificial constructs, probing the fundamental aspects of what it means to be alive. This pursuit dovetails with the concept of autopoiesis, the self-creating and maintaining nature of living systems, as it attempts to instill these properties within synthetic architectures. The narrative of artificial evolution is also enriched by the study of proteomics and metagenomics. disciplines that delve into the protein functions and collective genetic profiles of communities, respectively. These areas underscore the intricate interplay between an organism's genetic blueprint and its environment, a dynamic that artificial evolution seeks to harness and direct. As the scientific saga unfolds, the question of how these advancements will shape the future of evolution remains tantalizingly open. Will the distinctions between natural and artificial life blur, giving rise to a new classification of life? How will the coevolution of natural and synthetic organisms play out, especially as advancements in xenobiology push the boundaries of what life can be? These are the questions that echo through the corridors of research labs around the world as the march of artificial evolution continues unabated. Part 1. Algorithmic selection versus natural selection. The distinction between algorithmic selection and natural selection is one of the most pivotal in the study of artificial evolution, where natural selection is an undirected process resulting from differential survival and reproduction. Algorithmic selection is an intentional method employed by scientists and engineers to simulate or enact evolution within a controlled environment. This concept is critical to understanding the manipulation of genetic sequences in pursuit of specific characteristics, diverging significantly from the organic, often serendipitous, outcomes of natural evolutionary processes. Algorithmic selection hinges on the principles of optimization and efficiency. It leverages computational models to predict outcomes, reduce error, and expedite the evolutionary timeline, tasks that nature conducts over expansive periods. In this context, artificial selection can be likened to a sculptor who, instead of chipping away at a marble, guided by the random fissures and veins within, calculates the precise points of impact to achieve the intended design swiftly and without surplus waste. In computational systems, this approach is mirrored through the use of genetic algorithms. These algorithms are structured to mimic the mechanics of natural evolution, including selection, crossover, and mutation, but they are distinguished by their ability to pursue predefined objectives. For example, they might be employed to develop software that can solve complex problems or to optimize the design of aerodynamic components where traditional trial and error methods would be impractical due to time or resource constraints. The architecture of these systems draws heavily from the field of genomic algorithms. This architectural approach to artificial evolution involves crafting sequences that can undergo recombination and mutation under simulated environmental pressures. The outcomes can yield insights into the evolutionary potential of organisms as well as inform the development of new materials or organisms with desirable traits. Such evolutionary simulations extend into the terrain of evolutionary robotics, where robots are programmed with the ability to evolve in response to environmental challenges. This adaptive capacity is paramount, for it allows the robotic systems to navigate and adjust to unpredictability in ways that pre-programmed machines cannot. Within these exploratory spaces, the conversation invariably shifts toward the implications of these advancements. As algorithmic selection becomes more sophisticated, it presents both profound potentialities and complex challenges. The ability to direct evolution holds promise for medicine, ecology, and technology. but it also raises questions about the reach of human influence and the ramifications of accelerating evolutionary processes. Considering these dynamics, the examination of artificial evolution cannot be detached from the broader socio-technological landscape. While it is a scientific endeavor, its ramifications ripple outwards, influencing how humanity interacts with the concept of life itself and prompting a re-evaluation of the relationship between the born and the made. By understanding the nuances between algorithmic selection and natural selection, one can appreciate the magnitude of artificial evolution's role in shaping the future. It offers a vista of possibilities that, while grounded in the principles of biology, extends into realms of innovation that redefine boundaries of life and machine. This exploration is not merely a question of scientific curiosity, but a journey into the very essence of creation, adaptation, and existence. Part 2. Directed evolutionary processes in computational systems. The exploration into directed evolutionary processes within computational systems illuminates the stark divergence from the chaotic, undirected mechanisms of natural selection. Here, the evolutionary narrative is dictated by deliberate design, harnessed to fulfill specific objectives through the application of rigorous algorithmic methodologies. These processes are emblematic of humanity's quest to not only understand but also to harness and direct the forces of evolution. At the core of these computational systems lies the principle of optimization, a tenet starkly contrasted against the natural world's haphazard modus operandi, where nature plays the numbers game, producing myriad variations with the hope some will survive. Computational systems exhibit a laser focus on achieving predefined optimal solutions. The criterion for fitness is no longer survival and reproduction, but rather the accomplishment of a predetermined goal set forth by human architects. This precision is achieved through the employment of genetic algorithms, which simulate the process of natural selection by creating a population of solutions iteratively refined according to their performance against a set of criteria. These digital analogs of biological processes are meticulous in their progression, offering a clarity and directionality absent in their natural counterparts. The realm of machine learning provides fertile ground for the application of these directed evolutionary strategies. Neural networks, for instance, evolve through backpropagation, a method where errors are minimized by adjusting the weights of connections in a direction that reduces the difference between the actual output and the desired output. This iterative process can be seen as a form of learning, a digital echo of the cognitive adaptations organisms undergo in response to environmental stimuli. The field of artificial life extends these concepts to simulate lifelike behavior in software, creating entities that exhibit characteristics typically associated with living organisms, such as growth, reproduction, and responsiveness to environmental changes. Through directed evolution, these virtual creatures evolve traits that might take eons to develop under the slow watch of natural selection. The intersection of computational systems and evolutionary processes also venture into the realm of robotics. Here, the evolutionary algorithms guide the development of robotic behavior, allowing for the emergence of complex adaptive behaviors that can respond dynamically to changes in the environment, much like living organisms adapting to their ecological niches. The implications of these directed evolutionary processes reach far and wide. In biotechnology, they spearhead the development of new drugs and materials through the directed evolution of proteins and genetic sequences. In environmental sciences, they inform conservation strategies by simulating the potential impacts of environmental changes on species and ecosystems. Directed evolutionary processes in computational systems represent a synergy between the chaotic beauty of biological evolution and the precision of algorithmic computation. They exemplify the human desire to extend control over the fundamental forces of life and reflect the transformative impact of this convergence on science, technology, and society at large. Through these endeavors, artificial evolution emerges not merely as a scientific curiosity, but as a profound extension of the human intellect and its inexorable drive towards innovation and discovery. Part 3: Genomic Architectures: The Blueprint of Artificial Selection. Genomic architectures serve as the intricate blueprints within the sphere of artificial selection, a concept that inherently deviates from the stochastic nature of natural evolutionary processes. These blueprints are not the product of millennia of random mutations and environmental pressures, but are instead crafted with intentionality and precision. They embody a paradigm where genetic sequences are composed and recomposed, akin to a meticulously curated library rather than the haphazard genetic shuffling seen in natural environments. The essence of artificial selection in genomics lies in the ability to manipulate and construct genomes that are tailored for specific purposes ranging from agriculture to medicine. Modern techniques such as CRISPR-Cas9 have revolutionized this field, enabling precise edits at the nucleotide level, facilitating a form of evolutionary acceleration that is unparalleled in nature. The selection pressure, therefore, is derived from human objectives, driving genotypes toward phenotypes that are deemed beneficial within a human context. In computational biology, the simulation of genomic architectures offers an unprecedented ability to predict and model the outcomes of artificial selection. These simulations allow for the exploration of genetic pathways that have not been taken by natural evolution, providing insights into the possible trajectories of life that could arise through synthetic biology. They also offer a platform for examining the robustness and flexibility of genetic codes, shedding light on the potential for new forms of life that could exist beyond current biological constraints. The manipulation of genomic architectures extends into the realm of bioengineering, where organisms are designed to perform specific functions such as bioremediation or the production of pharmaceuticals. These living factories are predicated on the artificial selection of genes that can express the necessary proteins or enzymes, effectively turning cells into bespoke tools tailored for human needs. The architectural complexity of genomes in artificial selection is not without its challenges. It necessitates a profound understanding of gene interactions and expressions, as the interplay between various genetic elements can lead to unexpected outcomes. Thus, a multidisciplinary approach incorporating bioinformatics, systems biology, and evolutionary theory is essential to navigate the labyrinthine pathways of genomic architectures. Reflecting on the broader implications, the blueprint of artificial selection holds the promise of eradicating genetic diseases, enhancing food security through genetically modified crops, and potentially creating entirely new organisms that could inhabit the niches of tomorrow's ecosystem. It is at the intersection of these genomic architectures and artificial selection that the future of evolution is being written, not through the slow pen of natural selection, but through the swift keystrokes of human innovation. This exploration of genomic architectures as the cornerstone of artificial selection is not merely a scientific endeavor, but also a reflection of the human desire to extend the boundaries of life itself. It is an ongoing narrative of exploration and discovery, where each genomic sequence represents a verse in the epic of life's potentiality, guided by the hand of human creativity and ingenuity. Projection: the horizon of artificial evolution, implications and potentialities. Peering into the horizon of artificial evolution, one discerns a landscape where biological innovation is no longer serendipitous but engineered, a domain where the tools of computational biology, genomics, and synthetic life converge to redefine the boundaries of life's potential. This projection into the future offers a glimpse into a world where directed evolutionary processes are not just theoretical constructs but applied principles that drive advancements in diverse fields, from medicine to environmental sciences. The potentialities of artificial evolution stretch beyond current applications. Consider the possibility of microorganisms designed to combat climate change by efficiently sequestering carbon, or biologically engineered plants with the resilience to thrive in deteriorating environmental conditions. These are not just idle speculations, but tangible prospects that stand at the forefront of artificial evolution's promise. As computational systems grow increasingly sophisticated, the concept of algorithmic selection is anticipated to evolve in tandem. It's projected that algorithms will not just simulate evolutionary outcomes, but actively participate in the evolutionary process, harnessing vast data sets to predict and shape the genetic modification that could lead to desired traits with unprecedented accuracy. Genomic architectures will likely become more complex and malleable, with artificial selection transcending beyond simple gene editing to encompass the creation of entirely novel genetic codes. This could lead to the emergence of new life forms engineered from the ground up to serve specific functions that are currently beyond the capacity of natural organisms. The implications of such advancements are profound. They promise a future where the limitations of natural selection are transcended, and life itself becomes a canvas for human ingenuity. Yet with great power comes great responsibility. The stewardship of this technology will require an unwavering commitment to understanding the intricacies of life at a level that respects the complexity and interconnectivity of all living systems. This pursuit of knowledge and mastery over life's building blocks ushers in a new epoch of evolutionary synthesis. It is an era where the convergence of biology and technology blurs the lines between the natural and the artificial, challenging our very notions of life. The horizon of artificial evolution is not just a testament to human creativity, but a call to contemplate the legacy of this newfound evolutionary path. Closing part. Synthetica, the new epoch of evolutionary synthesis. As we stand on the cusp of a new epoch in the evolutionary narrative marked by the emergence of artificial evolution, it is crucial to contextualize this shift within the broader spectrum of life's continual transformation. The term synthetica encapsulates this era where the synthetic and organic intertwine, redefining the paradigms of life and evolution. This closing part aims to synthesize the insights gained from the exploring artificial evolution, projecting their impact on the future of biological and technological advancement. The synthesis of artificial and natural evolutionary processes is not merely a fusion of two distinct domains, but the birth of a new paradigm in which the boundaries between the biological and the artificial are increasingly blurred. This convergence heralds unprecedented possibilities, from the creation of novel life forms to the re-engineering of existing ones, extending the scope of what is biologically feasible. In this new epoch, the role of algorithmic selection and directed evolutionary processes is paramount. These methodologies, once the realm of computational systems, are now integral to understanding and directing the course of life itself. The implications of this field for fields such as medicine, agriculture, and environmental conservation are profound, offering tools to address some of the most pressing challenges of our time. The genomic architectures of the future are expected to be more complex, reflecting the intricate interplay of natural and artificial influences. This complexity not only provides a greater depth of understanding of life's mechanisms, but also opens avenues for novel interventions and therapies, potentially revolutionizing healthcare and disease management. As we project into the future, the potentialities of artificial evolution promise a new horizon of possibilities. This horizon is not just a distant future, but an emergent reality where the principles of evolutionary science are applied to create and enhance life in ways previously imagined only in the realms of fiction. This synthesis, however, is not without its challenges. It requires a thoughtful approach, one that respects the intricacies of life and its interconnectedness. The responsibility of wielding such transformative power must be tempered with a deep understanding of the ethical, ecological, and social implications. Synthetica as a concept represents more than just the technological advancements in artificial evolution. It symbolizes a new chapter in the story of life, where the artificial and the natural coalesce to create a future that is as uncertain as it is exciting. It is a reminder of the remarkable journey of life, an evolutionary path that continues to evolve and surprise, driven by the unending quest for understanding and innovation.